outbreak in West Africa has been declared an international health emergency by the World Health Organization. More than 5,000 children and adults have been killed by this disease, mostly in Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. Many other countries are at high alert. This disease is in its most virulent form and there is no cure or vaccine yet developed. We are now presenting to you a documentary on Ebola.
Southeastern Guinea in March. Since then, it has spread to neighboring Sierra Leone and Liberia, with 814 confirmed cases across the three countries. The Ebola virus is transmitted through bodily fluids, via oral and nasal exposure, and through the conjunctiva. The virus infects and replicates in immune cells, which further disseminate the virus. Lymphocyte depletion and necrosis are observed in the spleen, thymus, and liver. Intensified immune response leads to dysregulated coagulation, which causes bleeding and hemorrhaging in the gastrointestinal tract. Compromised vascular and endothelial cells also cause blood vessel leakage, leading to hypotension. Dysregulated host immune response, coagulation abnormalities, and an impaired vascular system lead to shock and systemic organ failure. Doctors are at high risk of exposure to the virus. They must apply additional infection control precautions, including wearing personal protective equipment such as gowns, masks, gloves, and goggles, as well as ensuring complete equipment sterilization. Ebola patients must be isolated and attended by medical staff.
Ebola viruses are viruses that cause hemorrhagic fevers, illness marked by severe bleeding, organ failure, and in many cases death. This virus is native to Africa, where sporadic outbreaks have occurred for decades. This virus first appeared in 1976 in two simultaneous outbreaks. First one in Zara, Sudan, and the other one in Yambuku in the National Democratic of Congo. Fruit bats are known to be the natural hosts of this virus. They are introduced into the human population through close contact with blood, bodily secretions, or organs of infected animals such as monkeys, chimpanzees, gorillas, porcupines, found ill or dead or in the rainforest. No vaccine has been developed for this disease.
Bats are one of the culprits behind the rapid spread of the virus. Minute Earth posted this explaining why.
All of these nasty pathogens have surfaced in humans in just the last 50 years, and they are all carried by bats. The recent rise in outbreaks is likely due to humans and our animals creeping ever farther into bats' territory, especially in the tropics.
No drug has been approved to treat this virus. People diagnosed with Ebola are given supportive care and treatment for complications, that is, they are quarantined, and scientists are coming closer to developing vaccines for this disease.
Where to go, like this 20-year-old man who Ben filmed outside the JFK hospital in Monrovia, Liberia.
As sick as he is, he won't be allowed inside. The largest hospital in the nation, and many others just like it, are completely full.
It's heartbreaking. There's nothing I can do about it because I have no space, I don't have the capacity.
Here at the Doctors Without Borders Treatment Center, they too are at capacity.
Doctors Without Borders is currently operating 5 Ebola management centers in Monrovia, the largest of the resources. That said, throughout this crisis, true local heroes have emerged like the Burial Boys of Sierra Leone.
A ragtag group of around 20 men, most in their early 20s, that make up the dead body management team in eastern Sierra Leone.
When somebody dies from this virus, that body is more dangerous.
One unsafe touch can put an entire village at risk.
I sacrifice myself for my country. I live in the struggle now. Because of our part of the area team, all of my family are...
की बिजली को इबोला मटरू रे मटरू मटरू की बिजली को इबोला मटरू रे मटरू मटरू की बिजली को इबोला.
Is Ebola virus a serious problem?
The health workers in West Africa are currently fighting with the most horrible Ebola virus in the history. More than 670 people have died and more than 1100 people people are being infected. It's a huge problem.
Meaning that if a person is already infected by this Ebola virus and he goes by aeroplane, so does he get all the people around him infected by this dangerous virus?
So the short answer is no, because the Ebola virus originated from an animal and it spread from an animal to animal. It is fairly rare that it will spread from animal to a human being, but when it will also spread from the animal feces or animal blood, and I think it also could spread from the animal sweat or animal saliva. Should I show some videos so that you will be more specified?
Yeah, we do it. So this Ebola virus is seriously a great problem and we need to tackle it as fast.
Oh!
Shit!
Oh no! Please don't touch, you will be infected.
Is a type of hemorrhagic fever, which means one of its most prominent symptoms is heavy bleeding, either internally or externally. But blood loss isn't what kills its hosts. After causing flu-like symptoms like vomiting and diarrhea, D.A.V targets the entire circulatory system, causing blood vessels to fail, blood pressure to drop, and eventually all of the major organs to shut down.
Hello? Hello, Mathu.
Hello, Bijli.
I went to the doctor and had some tests done and I think it's Ebola. I don't know what's happening to me. My head is paining terribly. I'm vomiting continuously and I'm feeling very weak.
What? Ebola? Okay. Calm down. Nothing will happen to you.
I don't know if it's a very fatal disease.
Don't panic. I will look into this matter and I will be there soon. Okay? Goodbye.
My name is Pillai and I'm a microbiologist. Currently I'm doing research on Ebola virus.
So, Geeta, can you just tell me how does this disease kill?
Basically the symptoms range between 2 and 21 days. And when the Ebola virus affects the patient, how the symptoms start is with fever, headaches, joint and muscle aches. The patient also feels a lot of diarrhea and vomiting, and this is very gradual. But finally, the death happens due to internal bleeding.
So, how does this disease spread in Africa in the current epidemic?
Basically the natural host for this disease is food bags. And if a person comes into contact with any secretion of this food bag which is infected or any organ of it, the humans could get infected. And the other hosts are also chimpanzees, monkeys and gorillas. So this is the way the infection actually originated and is spreading in our West Africa.
So, what do you think is the treatment for Ebola?
There is no such cure for Ebola. What the patient basically needs is an intensive medical care to reduce the mortality rate which is happening right now, and also to reduce the spread of this particular disease.
Who do you think is most at risk?
Well, there are three categories of people who are at most risk. I would say the healthcare workers who are working very close to the patient are definitely at risk. And the second category of patients is the contacts and the family members who are probably so much in contact with the patients that the blood, the secretions of the body they are coming into contact with. And third, definitely are the mourners, or probably very much in close contact with the patients, especially during burial ceremonies.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Actually, this was very important for our project. So thanks a lot.
It is my pleasure to be talking to you. If you need more information, you can always reach out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We have successfully launched the Fight Back Ebola campaign in 123 countries of the world. For those who are suffering from Ebola, as well as their families, I would like to say them that do not lose hope, and this is not the end. Together we can fight